Expediting your USCIS case by the phone can be a complex and difficult endeavor. It used to be really easy to get a hold of somebody who talk to them and they fix it up. But for example, if you do have a marriage case, an I-130 or a work permit based on marriage, something like that, and you want to expedite, they potentially have the online system, which I don't use. I like to call them. And getting a hold of an officer is hard. You have to play a kind of a game with the numbers and stuff to be able to get a hold of somebody. And then once there, you explain that you want to do an expedite, and they'll take your information and ask what the reason is, and that's where you discuss what the reason is. And then what happens is they'll say, well, listen, we'll contact you in 7 business days. Now, one is they could just deny your case. You get a notice that you get denied. But most of the time, we don't call unless we have some good facts that make it worthwhile for them to look into. In those kind of cases, they say within 7 days, we're going to send you an email with information about what we need. And they'll send you an email saying, this is the officer you got to contact, this is the email address, and submit documents explaining your situation. And then we email it to them usually, and then wait for response. Could take 30 days. Now, the problem is half the time when they say we're going to email you, they never email me, or they write down my email address wrong, so I never get it. So it's very important if 7 days passes, you call them up, or even sometimes call them up the next day to confirm, because about 20% of the time, as soon as I hung up, they just delete it from the system and act as if I never called. So I have to call back up to confirm that the officer I spoke with did it right. And as I said, like 20% of the time they didn't. So I have to call back up and redo the expedite request. And this is one of the things that when people hire off and say, well, what are you doing? It's like, we have to call these people and check up on their work. And mind you, you may be on hold for an hour or two until you get a hold of somebody. So the whole system is a mess and it's difficult. But if you need an expedite, these are the things you need to do. Even after you submit the documents and evidence, when they email you asking for it, they can still deny it. You can wait and then do it again, or then if that doesn't work, then contact your local congressperson or senator and ask them to help you out. So there's constantly pushing you could do to push it forward, but you have to be prepared for what is like the insanity of this process.